Money doesn't grow on trees. Because I said so. You'll eat what's put in front of you. If you grew up in Britain in the 60s or 70s, these phrases aren't just words, they're memories. You can still hear your mother's voice saying them. You can still feel the frustration, the eye roll you didn't dare show, and the grudging acceptance that came with it. These weren't suggestions. They were laws. The rules of the house delivered in a tone that meant there would be no negotiation, no debate, and absolutely no backtalk. Some made you laugh, some made you cringe, and some, you still say them today without even realizing it. If you enjoy rediscovering the Britain we grew up in, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Because we're about to count down 20 phrases that defined childhood in the 60s and 70s. And trust me, you're going to hear your parents' voices in your head. Let's start with number 20. Number 20. Money doesn't grow on trees. This was the universal response to any request involving money. A new toy? Money doesn't grow on trees. Sweets from the corner shop? Money doesn't grow on trees. It didn't matter what you wanted. This phrase shut down the conversation instantly. Parents in the 60s and 70s had lived through rationing, austerity, and hard times. Money was precious, and they made sure you knew it. The idea of wasting even a penny was unthinkable. So if you asked for something frivolous, you got the tree speech. Number 19. We're not made of money. Similar energy, slightly different delivery. This one usually came with a sigh and a shake of the head. You'd be at the shops, eyeing something shiny, and before you could even ask, your mom would say it. We're not made of money, you know. It was a reminder that budgets were tight and luxuries were rare. And if you pushed the issue, well, that's when you'd hear number 18. Number 18. Do you think I'm made of money? The upgraded, more accusatory version. This one came with a look, the kind that made you feel guilty for even thinking about asking. It wasn't just a statement. It was a rhetorical weapon designed to make you reconsider your entire existence. And it worked. You learned quickly, if you wanted something, you'd better save up your pocket money. Number 17. Because I said so. The ultimate conversation ender. No explanation, no justification, just pure parental authority. You'd ask why you had to do something, and this was the answer. Every single time. Why do I have to go to bed now? Because I said so. Why can't I watch telly? Because I said so. It wasn't a reason, it was a power move. And there was absolutely nothing you could say in response. Number 16, wait till your father gets home. The most terrifying phrase of all. It meant you'd done something serious. And now you had hours to stew in dread, imagining what punishment awaited you when Dad walked through the door. Sometimes it was worse than the actual punishment. The anticipation, the fear, the slow ticking of the clock. And when your father finally arrived, you knew you were in for it. Number 15, I'll give you something to cry about. Said when you were already crying. The logic was baffling, but the message was clear. Stop crying or things will get worse. It was a threat wrapped in exasperation, usually delivered after you'd been crying for too long over something deemed trivial. Did it stop the tears? Rarely. Did it make you cry quieter? Absolutely. Number 14, children should be seen and not heard. This was the golden rule of the 60s and 70s household. Children were expected to sit quietly when adults were talking. No interrupting, no opinions, no questions. You were furniture with a pulse. If guests came over, you might be trotted out to say hello, politely, and then you disappeared. The idea of children being part of adult conversations? Unthinkable. Now, discipline was one thing. But what about the food rules? The mealtime phrases that still haunt kitchens today? Keep watching, because numbers 13 through 9 are all about what happened at the dinner table. Number 13, you'll eat what's put in front of you. No negotiation, no alternatives. If dinner was liver and onions, you ate liver and onions. If it was boiled cabbage, you ate boiled cabbage. Picky eating wasn't a thing, it was rebellion, and rebellion was swiftly crushed. The plate was put in front of you and it didn't leave until it was clean. If you complained, you got number 12. Number 12. There are children starving in Africa. The guilt trip of all guilt trips. Somehow, your refusal to eat overcooked Brussels sprouts was directly connected to global poverty. The logic didn't hold up, but the shame did. You'd sit there, fork in hand, thinking about those poor starving children, and force down another mouthful. Number 11, waste not, want not. Nothing could be thrown away. Leftovers were sacred. Bread crusts? Eat them. They'll make your hair curly. Scraps of meat? Tomorrow's sandwich. The idea of wasting food was treated like a moral failing. This came from a generation that had lived through rationing. Food wasn't just food, it was survival. And you didn't waste what was hard-won. Number 10. You're not leaving this table until that plate is clean. The siege tactic. You'd sit there for hours if necessary, staring at cold, congealed food, waiting for a miracle. Sometimes you'd outlast your parents, and they'd give up. Other times, you'd eventually eat it, cold and miserable, just to escape. Number 9. If you don't eat your dinner, there's no pudding. The ultimate leverage. Pudding, whether it was tinned fruit, jelly, or a slice of cake, was the reward for suffering through the main course. And if you didn't finish, no reward. It turned meals into negotiations. How much could you leave on your plate and still claim pudding? It was a delicate balance. Number 8. What will the neighbors think? Reputation was everything. Your behavior didn't just reflect on you, it reflected on the entire family. If you acted up in public, you weren't just embarrassing yourself. You were bringing shame upon the household. So you behaved. Not because you wanted to, but because the fear of neighborhood gossip was real. Number 7. Don't make me come up there. Shouted from downstairs when you were being too loud in your room. It was a warning shot. If your parent had to climb those stairs, there would be consequences. So you quieted down. Fast. Number 6. You'll understand when you're older. The ultimate deflection. You'd ask a legitimate question, and instead of an answer, you got this. It was frustrating then. And now that you're older, you still don't understand half the things they were talking about. Number 5. I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. Worse than anger. Disappointment cut deep. Anger faded. Disappointment lingered. It meant you'd let them down, and that feeling stayed with you far longer than any punishment. Number 4. If your friends jumped off a cliff, would you? The classic response to, but everyone else is doing it. It was meant to teach independent thinking. In reality, it just made you better at lying about what your friends were actually doing. Number 3. You'll catch your death of cold. Go outside without a coat? You'll catch your death. Wet hair. Death. Sitting on cold ground. Death. British parents were convinced that temperature alone could kill you instantly. Did it ever happen? No. Did you still hear it every single time? Yes. Number 2. When I was your age, the beginning of every lecture about how much harder life used to be. When I was your age, we didn't have telly. We played outside. We walked miles to school. Uphill. Both ways. It was meant to instill gratitude. Mostly, it just made you roll your eyes. Number 1. Don't come running to me when it all goes wrong. The hands-off warning. You wanted to do something your way? Fine. But when it inevitably failed, don't expect sympathy. This phrase taught self-reliance and stubbornness. And yet, when it did go wrong, you still went running to them. Because deep down, you knew they'd help. Even if they said, "I told you so" first. These weren't just phrases. They were the soundtrack of a British childhood. Some were harsh, some were funny, and some, you probably say them to your own kids without even realizing it. So tell us, which one do you remember most? Which one did you swear you'd never say, and then caught yourself saying it anyway? Drop your answer in the comments. Share this video with anyone who grew up hearing these. And subscribe for more journeys into the Britain we grew up in. Because some things never really leave you. They just get passed down.